Welcome back to the Tidy Room Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the Moto Nuclear 1/44th scale BV-XH04 Legend of the Star General Tiefutu model kit. Now, this is a model kit you have to put together. Is ages 16 and up, and because it's a model kit, there are some things that you can do and accomplish for a $30 price point. So I did get this as a sample from Gundam It. They sent it out for me to take a look at, and with that I did put it together, and we'll go through a little bit of talk about that process and get into it and all of that, show you everything it can do. But you can get a lot out of a figure like this for a lower price point than getting a figure that's already just standard manufacturer and all that kind of stuff. So I'll give you the pluses, minuses, the ins and the outs, ups and downs, and this is the first model kit of this sort that I put together, so I'll share a little bit of my thoughts on that. And we'll get into it on this Moto Nuclear Swift Warrior Class Star General Tiefutu coming up. All right, here is the box, the packaging, and as model kits go, it feels very similar to model kits that I've seen in the past. Get instructions and QR codes, stuff, and you get all of this. So it's going to be a lot of putting it together, and I don't think you're required to paint anything. I don't intend to paint anything, so I'm just going to put that out there. But it does look like a bit of work, so I guess I got to get started on it, and I'll be back. Want to talk a little bit about the build. The instructions are pretty straightforward, pretty simple. It's just that there's a lot of it. There's a lot to it, a lot going on, and so it takes a lot of time. And you have to cut everything off the sprue. So although this is my first time doing one of these, I've done some stuff similar in the past, and I've watched a couple of videos and seen people that do it all the time. You definitely need to trim anything left from the sprue off of your parts. So if you're trying to clip the parts together and you're like, well, I know I got the right parts, they're not snapping together right, you need to trim every little bit of the flashing. Some people bump the camera. Trying to wrestle all this stuff. Some people actually sand the extra pieces for every piece. That's not me. That's not what I was going to do with this build, and so it did take me a while. I say it's about a 2-hour build, I guess. I did it in 30-minute increments here and there over the past few days, and because I just don't like sitting and doing something like that for 2 straight hours. But at the end of the day, it's not hard at all. It's just a little bit time consuming, and I do kind of appreciate the engineering behind making action figures when you put a model like this together. And I think people that do it regularly have a continual appreciation for the engineering, because there is engineering that goes into action figure making. Here is the end result after all of the putting together. And I will say this, a couple of things. So the model kit versus a standard action figure feels a little bit lighter. I haven't quite gotten the center of gravity for this thing, so I'm going to rotate it, but it'll probably fall because I haven't figured out the best center of gravity. Let's just put it like that. It's very light compared to a similar size manufactured action figure. That's the first thing that really surprised me when I was done. I just thought once we clipped all these pieces on, it would have this about the same weight or feel. And maybe they weigh the same. It just feels different because this has got a lot of bulky stuff on it with the skirt and all that. And I'm sure there's a better word than skirt that could be used. But it's a cool looking figure. And so all the different colors on it, nothing's been painted. So there's no paint. But like the gold pieces are pretty shiny gold. They're cast in a shiny gold, and there's a lot of articulation to the figure and a lot of extra pieces that articulate on the figure. And you've got 2 weapons and a shield and all that kind of stuff. So with that, it's a really nice looking figure. And you know, I will say that I was put off by the whole skirt idea. You don't have to leave it on. You could unclip it and take it off if you want. It's not a big deal. Just as you can see right here, it clips on. You'll know that if you get it and put it together, because you'll have to clip it on. And you can take it off. But without it, he looks really scrawny. So I do think this does kind of add some bulk to him and make him look a little bit better in a way. And we'll get into clipping on his accessories and all that here in just a minute. But yeah, overall pretty cool. The only downside so far, time it takes to put together, and feels a little bit lighter than I expected. Let's go ahead and jump into his accessories. And he does have quite a few hands that, yes, you have to put, at least you have to put even the splayed ones, like the splayed hand like this, you have to put the little green back of his hand on. But he comes with 2 splayed hands. He comes with obviously fists, and I'm not making any fist jokes. I think there's enough fist jokes for all of 2026 already made, so that's good. I don't have to do that. He has these hands where you can hold your sword aloft, kind of He-Man-ish, isn't it? So there's fist jokes and hold your sword aloft. 2 of those. But I prefer, as you can see, standard hands right here, all of which you had to put together. And these weapons, you had to put them together too. It is what it is. That's how you do it. See, I didn't trim that sprue or sand it well enough. It still shows through. He has his shield, which works great. Which, you know, I start to wonder, because I put it together exactly as it showed, but it looks like it should be facing upward, because that looks like a face on it. So I feel like I might have had that on there. Wonder if I could take that off and put it back on differently. Hey, I got a shield fix. Whoosh. Whoosh. That fixes the shield. That's cool. I don't know. And then he has this giant piece here, which this is where all the action is. And this is a long handle. long handle for it. Now, this does clip back here. And I kind of think, so I'm not going to take it all off, but you can clip this to here also. In order to take his shield out of his hand, you're going to have to take his hand apart and do that. I don't want to do that, but you can fold the shield. Am I getting that on camera? Fold the shield like that, and it'll plug into his back right here in this hole. You can take this adapter out, and I'm just going to leave the adapter in. And yeah, you don't need to glue anything on this figure, but if I was going to glue anything, I would glue this in place because it does keep falling off, the little decorative piece. The only reason I haven't is because I think the glue residue would kind of mess with that shiny looking stuff going on there. So I haven't yet, but yeah, it's one of those things that I was thinking, man, I'd probably like to glue that. And this just fell off. I mean, it's a model kit, so you can literally just plug it back in. I might not have pressed that in hard enough when I was building it. I don't know. And with that, I'm always concerned, like, breaking stuff. I don't want to break it, that kind of thing. But let's get into articulation. Articulation's kind of strange on this figure. The head kind of, that popped off again, rotates around ball joint, but it doesn't really do a whole lot because it's a little hindered by its own neck and armor and stuff going on in there. The shoulder's double jointed, as you can see. So you get a double joint out of the shoulder. You do get the 360. That's the back of his hand that fell off, which I'll talk about that here in just a second. Double jointed on the elbow, which works really well. His hand has the rotation because it plugs in. It feels like it's getting a little in and out. I don't know if it's really supposed to, but it is getting some. Oh, that's the shield movement. Sorry. And then we have a kind of a ball joint in his diaphragm, and you can get a lot. Well, it's not ball joint. It's actually quite a bit of stuff that you had to put together to get it to achieve that. But and then there's waist swivel, but not an ab crunch. So no ab crunch, but you have the diaphragm crunch that works. Now you can get his skirt. His skirt's going to hinder some of this, but you would get all the way. Oh, you got drop down hips too, so you get definitely the 90 on the leg there, and to the front easily, and to the back easily with the drop down hits. So you can remove this skirt if you want to, which probably makes it easier for you to see all what it can do. So quite a bit of articulation that I probably am not going to use. That's one of the things that goes with all this extra articulation. And let's put it all back together. Does it hold together extremely well? Well, yeah, when you get your pose and all that stuff, yes. But if you're messing with it to extreme, I'm doing some extremes with it. So thigh rotation, double jointed knee. And I do think it's interesting because with the knee, you have the decorations on all the knee and all of that. What's going on right there. And then down here, you have toe tilt. It's engineered in, which, you know, just adds more steps to it. And then you have side to side on both, and left and right legs are exactly the same. So you can get everything you want out of either side, which is cool. Which, yeah, decent articulation as expected. And I think maybe even in some cases a little more than what we usually get from an average figure. Let's get into some comparisons here. I think that it scales sort of okay with G.I. Classified and Black Series. It's supposed to be 6-inch scale. Well, it's 1/44th scale of real life. So it would be like a crazy giant mech warrior or something. But with that, it's about the size. I mean, they're not going for... It's not human looking. It's something else. But yeah, it's about the size. I feel like people say that Black Series runs small, but Black Series, like, you can tell they're about the same size as Classified. And these each have the stand, so that does add like, what, a 1/8 of an inch, 1/2 of an inch, 1/3 of an inch, something like that. So little height added there. Here we go. We got them with Super 7 Silverhawks and G.I. Joe Major Blood. Okay, Charcoal Hawks. Charcoal Hawks. So here's how he scales with turtles. If you want him to take on your turtles, this is with NECA Leonardo. Leonardo's my favorite, by the way. And yeah, just because he's got the swords. And this is the Super 7 version. And people got real mad at me that I didn't have Super 7 in hand when I compared every version. I just didn't have it this time. But the prices have come down, so. There we go. We can compare them now. Alright, so you can kind of get the idea of size and scale next to Star Saber, and they do have a similar styling in a way. I mean, this kind of like samurai style, but this, I feel like similar styling, not same styling. I think they can go together, I guess. Okay, he could be his partner out there on the battlefield or something like that. Alright, so this is my look at the Moto Nuclear 1/44th BV-XH04 Legend of the Star General Tiefutu model kit. And what do I think about this? I think that for the price, for $30, you are definitely getting a lot out of this, but you will have to put a lot into it. It's got some interesting cool weapons. It's got a lot of color differentiation in it. It's got articulation, and in putting it together, I appreciate all of the engineering that goes into that articulation, and this figure, it looks pretty cool. Now, it does probably take 2 hours. If you're really good at this, do it all the time, you probably do it way faster than that. But it's my first one I ever did, so total of about 2 hours, I think, is what it takes to put this together. All said and done. I did try to not glue anything, which you don't have to glue anything. But I might glue a couple pieces that just keep bothering me, that fall off. Or I might sand them, the parts that need to, the sprue stuff. But it is pretty interesting. It's a pretty fun little journey to put something like this together. It's my first one, so obviously I'm not highly experienced at model kits, and makes me curious about some other stuff out there, but not something I'd want to do like every week, a model kit, because it is time consuming. But it does look cool. I like the clear plastic parts that are on it. I do like the accents, and it looks definitely a fascinating looking figure. Something different than I have. I don't have anything that really looks like this. I guess, as I was showing, Star Saber is the thing that looks closest to this in my collection. But I'm curious what you think about this. If so, there's a link down below where you can go get the Gundamit.com. Thank you to Gundamit for sending it out to me, or Shozy. And I remember TH4, the reviewer, helped the channel out. And comment below. Teddy Remaker out.